Rising, Grand Rising. This is the Straight Talk Morning Show on the Straight Talk Network. My name is Andre Hill. I'm your host, and we got a full panel here this morning. We got some serious topics. If you got melanin in your skin and you're not listening to this show, you might be in trouble. But anyway, we got a full cast here. We have some serious topics that dealing with our women that are vanishing. And we know why, and we know we have a good idea who's behind all of this. Also, the chairman going to give us an update on the 3-Eye Atlas. Chairman, I gotta say, this recording, we got to authenticate it, and figure out, is this what they want to say, or is this what the Guardians are really saying? And also, we continue to break down how Aboriginal Americans will secure reparations. Our young crew, Andre Hill Jr. and Chief Yasan, they are bringing people into reality, and they're going to talk about how they're nationalizing people and getting people to reset their nationality. But let's introduce the staff. We have Chairman up in Detroit, Terrence Lake. How you doing, sir?
Grand Rising, everyone. I'm doing good. Got a sort of a nice day today in the city. They say if you're going to do your leaves, do them now, because next week it might be a foot of snow.
Yeah, that'll be a heavy load.
Yes.
Also, we have Mama Kelly up in Atlanta, Georgia. How you doing this morning, Mama Kelly? I think she go mute on us.
Yeah, just give her a second. She may be back in a few.
And Chief Yosan, he's down here in the Tampa area with us. He's coming here. He said, "Man, I'm going down and get some of this sunshine." What's up, man? How you doing this morning?
Peace. I'm loving. I'm outside without a hoodie. It's oh man, I'm euphoric is the word I'll use.
Yeah, that's good. And then of course we have our engineer, Juris Doctor. Him and Chief Yosan, boy, these young brothers got some knowledge, man. They're gonna lay it on you. I know you're trying to make some decisions, but how you doing this morning, Junior?
I'm good. Like y'all say, it's a nice day everywhere today, and I'm enjoying it. And let me say this real quick, because I don't think we got a chance to talk about it or report it. Last week was a geostorm in the northern hemisphere, and I think it was because of a solar mass injection, aka a solar flare.
Yes,
it blew out and affected Earth. So if you were dealing with any adverse reaction from it, say for me, it activated some migraine episodes for me for about almost a week. And I was trying to figure out, what triggered it. And then I was telling my people that I said, I think something's going on in the atmosphere. And then lo and behold, it was a solar mass injection that induced a geostorm in the northern hemisphere and brought that cold spell we had last week. And it even brought the electromagnetic field, kind of skewed it a little bit to the point to where we were seeing northern lights, aka auroras, a lot further south than typical. So if y'all experiencing any adverse reactions, right? I mean, mine came in the form of a migraine. Some people may be getting sick. Also, too, they were, I think, at some level of response. We saw heavy chemtrails as well. That's typical for them, but I just want everybody to stay vigilant, stay safe, stay healthy. Try not to eat outside too much. In other words, do your best, go to the stove, cook some food at the house, because it's just, that season for one, and we know that they are desperate and plan on ramping up their offenses. So, but yeah, that's all.
All right, well, load up that video. We're gonna go straight to the point. What is happening in our communities? These our young melanated women are being abducted. They're disappearing, and there's a panic alarm. Go ahead and check that video out.
How is there 34 missing young girls missing in the last 48 hours out of Washington, D.C.? Something just ain't right. And there's no news coverage on this. Everybody to come across this video, I need y'all to either make a video or I need y'all to share this video out, because it's no way in heck that this has not hit mainstream. It has not been on no type of media, but content creators like me have to get freaking stories out like this. Something gotta be fucking going crazy in this world. Like, they cover up so much when it comes to missing kids, missing adults. It gotta stop. When you are making your video, please make sure that you put Washington, D.C. in the hashtags, and make sure you are putting missing girls, missing. That type of stuff like that, them hashtags will get your videos pushed out. I need everyone, and I mean everyone, to get this daggone video, because 34 girls within the last 48 hours went missing, and I'm talking about my color. Yes, get this out right now. Everybody, these girls need y'all help. They need my help. We are all their voices.
The missing 34 girls in DC has failed to come across my news feed as breaking news, or I haven't gotten an Amber Alert. So this is my call to people of the world, American people with a soul. We got missing girls. Get the word out, media, news. Y'all need to do something.
How is...
All right, so that set the stage. So, you know, I've been seeing these videos. I have not been able to confirm any reports. So, but because I guess if they're suppressing it from the news feeds, they're also suppressing it through the police reports and don't have a collective roster on who, where, when, and why. You know, these women are showing up missing. So it's suspicious. It's very suspicious. And so one of the things that I want to point out, as a tribal nation, we have some powerful, beautiful brothers joining our nation. And we know our job is to protect and build for our women, you know, and our families and that sort of thing. And so we want to present a feeling of calm to our women. But listen, women, we know you're trying to get your hustle on, but you cannot right now in this very critical time expose yourself, because there are people out there, and Mama Kelly, when she comes on, there are people out there that are my belief, and I know people be going like, he talking about reptilians, what are reptilians? Well, when you read that Bible, you know, it talked about the serpent in the garden. So these reptilians are these beings. They are, you know, with 3-Eye Atlas roaming. They know that their time of BS is shut down. So what they need food and breeders to continue to breed humans, because they eat humans. That, you know, and that's who's behind all this madness on the planet. Because people be asking the question, how could humans do that to each other? You know, it ain't the humans. It's the humans that are dumb enough to fall for the trick, but it's the reptilians. They are gendered, and they know that when 3-Eye Atlas, just like when the dinosaurs had to go underground, they said a comet, bullshit. A comet came and wiped out all dinosaurs. That's straight BS. And when it was time for a new species to rule the planet, then it had to go. And some of them went beneath the surface, some of them left the planet. So that is the reality. They are on the hunt, and it's in a desperate time. Chairman, are there any reports up in Detroit about our women missing?
I haven't heard anything on the news. I don't watch television that often. Yeah, I haven't heard anything.
That's my point.
Well, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Mama Kelly. You lost the picture.
I'm still trying to situate myself, but it's everywhere. I've been knowing about it, the missing women and children, at least, 15 years. I was in a meditation group, and our leader kept telling us to try to focus on where and why, why is it that our girls and all our children and our women are coming up missing. And this was something we were doing 15 years ago, so it isn't new. And the reason for it, is for sacrifice. Now, harvesting melanin. Now, you remember the Atlanta child murders.
Yes.
Yes, when the boys were disappearing.
Yes.
And Dick Gregory told us that they were trying to synthesize something that our young boys have in their, around the head of their penis, and they were harvesting, trying to synthesize it way back then, but now it's straight up a child sacrifice. Mostly that's what they want. And of course, you really have to look into it because it's not even news. I mean, you have to go to certain, truth sites.
Right.
You find these things out because, most of those people who are on the news, they're part of it.
Yeah.
They can't expose themselves. They're part of it.
So, Mama Kelly, you were talking about the woman whose husband was assassinated. She's getting ready to open up another orphanage.
Yes. Let me settle. I'm walking around right now,
Okay.
and so that I can come on and talk about that. It's about Erica Kirk. Who is the so-called widow of that Charlie Kirk,
Right.
whom they've tried to make like the sacrifice of the Christ or something like that. That's what they're trying to pretend he was.
Right.
But it's the very Satanists who killed him.
Absolutely.
And that is that has been verified, although you won't hear it on the news. But the person who has pretty much told us that this is true because she investigated is Candace Owens, and she used to work with those people. So she got the back end of the story about that assassination. But please give me a chance to sit down.
Go ahead, Mama Kelly. Chief, your son, have you heard anything about our sisters coming up missing?
No, I have not heard anything.
Wow.
And they're right in our neighborhood. Why aren't we hearing about it?
Yeah, that's crazy. Hey, Junior, have you picked up anything off the wire?
No, haven't picked up anything, but as we were talking, I just took the liberty to go ahead and just do a brief Google search on it, and of course, Google, being as filtered as it is claiming that it's misinformation, but we know that all of the media sources at this point are satanic and military war complex instruments at this point. So can't believe them. Can't believe Google. I wish. I hope that we can get some report directly from some of our family in DC, right? Potentially some people we know, so we can get some real, true insight on it, because that's intolerable. And like I said, I'll touch later on as to what my opinion on why it's happening.
So also, if you we prepare for Facebook and YouTube, to contain, oppress and suppress our broadcast. But if you know of families that have missing children, contact us here on the Straight Talk Show. Mm-hmm. Send us a message, that I know we're going to investigate it, because this is a serious, serious episode. And I, again, my gut is telling me, the reality of life here on planet Earth. You have these entities, and they know that their season has ended, and yet our people still trying to hold on to this false dogma, religion, and don't want to believe that that's even possible. But we're gonna try to do some investigation, but you gotta understand these entities are ruthless. They don't have the same maternal instinct that we have, towards our children. To them, we are food, and so they need to eat. They don't know now the so-called biblical prophecy saying they're going to be locked down for 1,000 years, and then in another 1,000 years they'll be released to eat on the planet. So if they're going to be locked down for 1,000 years, they need some food. Is that logical? Chairman, is that logical to you?
Hey, if you're a living being, you got to have food,
Yeah. So, don't put your children at risk. Listen, I know a lot of you parents out there, your children have been hard-headed, don't want to listen to you. But yeah, because the reason why you bought into a sold-out doctrine, and they don't want to hear this madness of working for 65 years for these mentally deranged people, and then waiting on Social Security while they fill you up with drugs that cause one problem after the other, and then you die. These kids. So start bringing your children out, bring them out of the cold, because if they're out here trying to maneuver and hustle in this game, they're gonna lose. The game ain't designed for them to win. They're not gonna outsmart anybody. They're not gonna outmaneuver anybody. And so you gotta start bringing your children in. And then get in touch with us at UAAR, nation.org. We're working on a plan to house them and get them out of this matrix where they don't eat. They don't have to pay for pay for eating, pay for rent, water bills. Our nation, each tribal land will support its tribe. We're getting out of this matrix, and that's where we are right now. So be vigilant. We know, I talk to a lot of people in my generation and who are now grandparents and great grandparents, and I'm tired of these kids. All right, you don't know the consequences of the actions of allowing your children to become victims to a satanic demonic system. So, hey, man, Junior, you got anything else to say on this before?
Yeah, man. Let me kind of open up the can of worms. What I, think is happening, and technically it's been happening for at least a millennium now. What I mean is the periodic and timed infusion of melanin into what was first the elite's bloodlines. And what's happening now is, since they have now permeated the world with their colonialism and the demonic satanic rituals that's a part of their colonialism, the periodic and timed infusion of melanin into their bloodline. I'm gonna let Mama Kelly speak on this a little while. But she told us right before we started, now they got liquid melanin that they can consume. Liquid melanin. And mind you, melanin is very difficult to synthetically create. They tried it. They've been trying it for about 1,000 years. Mm-hmm. If melanin is from, let's say, from a religious perspective, that's God's gift to humanity. You see what I'm saying? That's the mark of the chosen people, right? So they have to get it from somewhere. They've got to get it from somewhere. And where is it going to lead them into? What life is it going to afford them? In other words, going to give them longevity and also allow them to usher a certain amount of people into the transhumanism era. That's because that's where they at with it right now.
Okay.
The transhumanism movement, is being projected to us as if it's the next great technological era. But what it really is just the opportunity for those parasitic elite to create an artificial world and universe, a digital world and universe that they need humans to log into, because like you said, probably they need food. They need a food source. They need an energy and food source to survive that. Because again, it's an artificial universe. It's not going to afford them the same energy output that we give them, because most of the planet is waking up, regardless of race, creed, or color. A good majority of the world is waking up, and we're going to begin to ascend and vibrate out of their frequency reach. So they're not going to have access to us anymore. The same science of how, or let's say why, precious metal, copper, jewelry, and pottery was always made. One of the reasons why is because certain bacteria and certain level of life forms, parasitic life forms, can attach to high vibrational metals. Same concept. They won't be able to attach to us the higher we ascend. I mean, we can be in the same proximity to it, but they just can't. Our energy output and frequency repels them, right? So they're prepared for that. They're prepared for that. Listen, I've been studying cosmology for 25 years. They've had regimes and cults that have been trying to study this for thousands of years, or at least let's say at least 2,000 years. So they know the cycles of the planet and the galaxy and the solar system very well as well. And they watch it just like a map. And so they understand that their window is closing. They know this better than we do, because it's their life depends on it. So they're waiting or anticipating a good majority of humans vibrating out of their reach. And the only thing they're going to have access to is all of the humans that they were able to convince to go the route of that new transhumanism movement, to where they have access to you all the time. I'm gonna land this UFO on this. Imagine we think this matrix system in this physical realm is rough, but what do you imagine it would be in an artificial world where they have access to all of the codes, just like the Matrix, to where you bought into that, and for whatever it's worth, they got some kind of contract on your mind and soul at that point. All right. So saying all that to say this, from our missing girls, the desire or the necessity for them to harvest melanin, all the way into the movement of a transhumanism future that's only designed for them to continue to siphon and harvest selfishly. All right, I'll land it right there. We'll talk about more later.
Hey, Chief Yasan, what do you say to people that's in a fog right now, and you want to bring them out of this matrix into the matrix that we're creating? What do you say to them?
As far as the fog, I resonate with that completely. First thing I do is I resonate with them. I understand the fog. I understand, number one, how hard it is to even break into the first one knowledge that we have. It's not easy. You got to get past Love and Hip Hop, Real Husbands of Hollywood, or with all the BET, you know what I mean. So real life is over this way. All right. You want to vibrate high, you want control over your persons, you want control over your sovereignty, then you need to come this way. You need to do the right thing. Not only that, but you need to leave the low vibrational energy back where you learned it from. All right. We vibrate high, and understand, once you start vibrating high, the universe, all of reality will vibrate with you. It will bring you all of the gifts, all of your greatest desires that you ever want. It will be given to you happily. I've been doing content creation for 15 years. It was not until the moment I started studying, vibrating high, and giving back to my people, to where now you see me with the platform that I have and the reach that I have. You know what I mean? So as far as the transhumanism, the missing children, these are the things that you want to leave behind. You do not want to trust them, especially going forward. And speaking on transhumanism, it would almost be like they would need some type of way to inject something straight into your bloodstream, with, I guess, the facade that it's something else, if you peep what I'm saying. And then put a bunch of towers around, so just in case they had any codes that they needed to activate, you would be in reach of the signal. You see what I'm saying? So it's time to get our own land. Black Wall Street was not the only Wall Street that we have, and it was one of the poorer ones that we've had when we are comparing our empires to the relativity of time. All right, so we have the knowledge these empires, kings, away from those low vibrational systems where we will not have to worry about these things happening to our people. So here at UAAR, I mean, I've been greeted with some of the most knowledge, wisdom, experience. I mean, just pure graciousness that I've ever had the honor to be a part of. So I thank you guys so much for this platform, everything you're doing to even make myself feel comfortable, and those who I helped get in here. I mean, round of applause to you guys, everybody listening. The time is now.
Hey man, so you know, sisters out there, you know, we're real men, and I know a lot of you out there. Where the real men at? Well, you got a panel, and we know thousands of other young men that's ready to get on this tip. You know, so you need to come out of that matrix. Listen to what the chief said, and let's get into building a new matrix based on balance, because this is not balanced. It's not designed to be fixed. Y'all keep going down and where we gonna run for this, run for that. Not in this system. It's not designed to be fixed. We have to build our own matrix. And these are the kind of men that's in our organization that's going to protect you, build for you, and give you the opportunity to get out of this cutthroat hustling mentality and start nurturing your children and your men and your community. You know, that's where we're going. And you know, this train ain't leaving the port, you know, but it's getting ready to ship out, you know, and you need to get on board. Otherwise, you're going to be out here left in this subject to these demons, and that's where they are. So while Mama Kelly is dealing with some technical difficulty, hey, Chairman.
Yes.
So those three. What do you think about those two videos you and I were looking at with the Chinaman talking about what NASA said? Did you get a chance to watch those?
Yes, I did get a chance to listen to the Chinaman for sure, and he's giving some information out, you know, and you're talking about Michio Kaku, and he's on YouTube 24/7, you know, and he was even someone called him to ask them to decipher some of the frequencies that he's receiving from 3i Atlas, and he's learning how some type of code that he did come up with. They said something, I wrote it down, it said, "Your time is ending." And it freaked him out, and it freaked a lot of other scientists out. And they just couldn't understand, what do they mean by your time is ending? You know, so it's a lot going on. There's a lot of inner house fighting amongst scientists right now, because Avi Loeb, I put my money on him. He's telling the people the truth about everything. He's saying that, you know, 3i Atlas has broken every rule that comets, you know, have established for the past 1,000 years, you know, because you can go back to Galileo, you know, when he first spotted that the sun, you know, wasn't going around us. He had that telescope and he seen that we were going around the sun, you know. So it's a lot of things they don't want you to know, you know, they're not going to let you know. Just like Avi Loeb saying that they were holding science hostage because of certain viewings through certain telescopes, like the Hubble telescope, the Watt, you know, telescope, you know, like they've got pictures and information that they're not sharing with the public. And why not? You know, it should be for everybody, because we're all on this planet together. You know, why are you hiding this information? It's going to come out, you know, and with the new young, you know, amateur astronomers, you know, they're gaining a lot of knowledge too, and they don't even want to broadcast on some of their findings. So what's going on? Why the big secret,
I speak.
and
I hate to interfere, but none of mine, I can't get on. I don't, and I can't, excuse me, but I just wanted to let you know that nothing here is working. So even though I've asked for the passcode to get on my laptop, but I think Bruh didn't see it yet. And please forgive me, Chairman, for interrupting, but I can't get any messages through. And I did want to speak on that you're speaking. So as soon as you're finished, please forgive me for.
absolutely.
I
Well, Mom Kelly, that must mean they don't want you to talk about that they're going to be extracting that melanin and that woman going into Chicago trying to set up a child factory. They don't want you talking. So they don't shot them with them 5G towers that shot some beams at your stuff. But anyway, just keep on working on it, and then if not, we'll come back around. We can hear you.
We can hear you. Yes.
Yeah. So let us do this video. Hey man, you got the video on part 1 with the Chinaman.
Yeah.
And we'll take a look at this video and break down what he's saying, because I have a different interpretation of what the Guardians are downloading in my head. Man, I'm on. They downloading me 24/7. And I understand specifically what's really going on, and I'm gonna give my piece on it after we get a chance to look at this video. This is part 2. Part 1.
It spoke to the species as one. Your species has reached the end.
What were you saying?
So part 1 gives you Did
you send me part 1?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's regroup for a second.
So yeah, so his take and my take, his take is generic and it's government filtered and packaged, because they don't want to alarm you, and they don't want you to really believe that this is going on. The fact that he was able to announce that 3i had transmitted for 60 seconds. It was a 60-second message
broadcast, yes.
And then it cut off. It was very precise, and so part of my job here on the planet is to listen to the BS and then give the true meaning from a supernatural perspective. So there we go. So you got part 1 there.
11:43 last night, the silence of the cosmos broke. Every radio telescope on Earth, from the icy plateaus of Antarctica to the deserts of Atacama, received the same transmission. It lasted exactly 60 seconds, 1 minute that changed forever what it means to be human. It wasn't a signal. It wasn't mathematical noise. It wasn't random interference. It was a message spoken in perfect neutral English. And what it said was enough to send world leaders rushing underground, enough to make NASA's brightest scientists lose their words, and enough to make the entire species question its right to exist. It began with 4 words, 4 simple, devastating words that still make my hands tremble whenever I repeat them. Your time is ending. My name is Meech Kaku. 23 minutes after that transmission ended, my phone rang. The line came from deep within the highest levels of government, the kind of connection that doesn't appear on any records. A trembling voice said only this: "We need you to decode it. We need to know what it means." For months, we had watched Tri-Atlas, an intelligence of unknown origin, move from distant observer to silent sentinel to something else entirely, a presence. At first, it appeared as faint gravitational anomalies, brief distortions in radio frequencies. Then came the lights in the upper atmosphere, symmetrical, deliberate, almost mathematical in their arrangement. Now it had spoken. But this wasn't a threat. It was something far worse. It was a verdict. Tri-Atlas, or whatever name we give it, knew us. Not as we imagine ourselves to be, but as we truly are. It knew our history, our myths, our lies, our fractures. It spoke with the calm precision of a scientist examining a culture already dissected and archived. It spoke as if we were bacteria under a microscope, fascinating but ultimately disposable. And yet, behind the terror, there was something else, a strange, unshakable familiarity, as if the voice that crossed light years was not alien at all, but intimately aware of the human mind, of its fears, its illusions, its obsessions. I spent hours listening to the recording, replaying every tone, every inflection. There was no accent, no warmth, no emotion, and yet it conveyed authority beyond comprehension. When we converted the signal into its raw data stream, we discovered 17 hours of compressed information embedded within those 60 seconds. 17 hours of structured, intelligent patterns that our machines still fail to decode. But the spoken words, those we understood instantly. It did not address governments. It did not speak to individuals. 11:43 last night.
All right, so let's deal with that before we see how our time is running. So, Chairman, you want to do the first take on this?
Yes, you know, like I say, there's a lot of games being played. You know, we know that 3i Atlas has the technology. You know, they can, cloak themselves. Like I say, when they went to perihelion and they got behind the sun, they could have made some moves when they were behind the sun where they could have went back to Mars and dropped off some probes. And like I say, cloaking is something that we understand, that we deal with. But a society like 3i Atlas, where they're from, they're much further advanced, probably tens of thousands of years more advanced than we are. But I think what they're doing right now is they're tired of all the mess that's going on planet Earth, and they want to put a stop to it. The murdering of innocent children because, we're a part of them, just like they're a part of us. And they gave us our opportunity to get ourselves together. And now they got to take things in hand. They can't allow Trump and his regime to hijack and use us as, meat to eat and all this other stuff, to destroy us, And speaking of the missing children and women, like they got families. And if it's 34 within a 24-hour or 48-hour period, somebody's got to go to the police and tell something, even though some of them are corrupt. But, that's just unthinkable to have that many people missing in a short period of 2 days. What's really going on, you know.
All right, so I want to mix it with the younger generation and the old generation. Chief Yasan, what's your take on the frequency coming from 3i?
So it's funny, right? I'll say it like this, and please forgive me. Sound like dad's home, if you ask me. It's a very select few people on this planet who can say that's dad. A bunch of other people, dad gonna look at them like they strangers because they ain't been living right. So I'll say it like this. This frequency, the honorable scientist said it void of emotion, but authority. So this frequency is obviously a frequency that is adjustable to those who hear it. So with that being said, as he was speaking, the frequency sounded like music to my ears, or I'll say this because they destroyed so many of them. It sounded like bells ringing, right? The frequency that I get is I get excited because they get scared. If their voice is shaking, then my voice is gonna sing. You know what I mean? So to all of those who are youthful, right? Even our elders, our honorable elders, I always say it is. Ain't no time for fear, especially when our redemption is near. And I'll land that UFO on that.
Hey, right. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, Mama Kelly, you got? We know we can hear you. You got to. What do you think about this frequency coming in from 3i Atlas?
It is I've gotten some deep information, and it appears as if no, it doesn't just appear. It's straight up telling us that we have been monitored from the center of the galaxy, the Milky Way. This message is coming from the black hole. It's coming from the center of the galaxy. And they have been monitoring us. They know absolutely everything about what has happened on Earth for the last 2 million years.
Yes.
So actually, what these Satanists who have had their hands in the pot for the last 2,000 years, and really the last 500 years have done the most damage on Earth, they are the ones, who are in fear. And they are the ones who have caused the earth to not come up to par to actually vibrate at a frequency where we can actually join the galactic universe.
Absolutely.
Federation.
We are so not we. We've got these demons who are in charge right here, who are trying to lock us down as we speak. And this digital coin and all that stuff they're trying to, and this biometric ID and all of that. It's all about locking us into the matrix. Well, what happens is then the matrix is falling. It's falling apart because of people like us who continue to tell the world what's going on. And so they have, and Mikio, I did see a pretty good video. I'm not sure whether I sent it to you guys or not, where Mikio Haku was saying that, this is the problem, that our vibrational status as far as the earth is concerned is so low, we cannot be a part of the galactic world, progressive and spiritual world, because of the frequency that has been held so low here because of the works of the Satanist. And as I'm not sure if I told you about the satanic things that I think we stopped talking about what's happening in Chicago. I'm not sure whether I spoke about that. Was it before, or were we on?
Well, we wanted you to give us a little bit more detail on Charlie Chris. Right?
All right. Well, I have been following what has happened, since this Charlie Kirk. I haven't been on it every day, but because I do hear from several people, Erica Kirk, who was the wife of Charlie Kirk, who was sacrificed on 9/10, one day before 9/11. He was sacrificed in a pure white college, Utah, there, the University of Utah. And so, it has been exposed that he, of course, was sacrificed because he was about to expose the Satanists, their homeland, so-called, which was stolen from another people in the Middle East. You can't call their name, of course, because you'll be really sacrificed, But Erica Kirk, it has come to light that she had an orphanage in Romania some years back. I think that it was before she married Kirk, and she started out in one of Donald Trump's beauty contests, and that's where they recruit a lot of their women who are considered mules, mules, because they carry the burden of the DS, the deep state, and do all kinds of things, illegal things. Well, Erica Kirk had a orphanage over there in Romania. Come to light and come to find out that she was trafficking children in Romania. So she was run out of Romania. Okay? Now, this is Charlie Kirk's wife, who is now the head of that organization. I can't remember the name of it. But now it has been announced that she has been given hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars to orphanage in Chicago. Now, I want to ask everyone who is listening, why? Why do we need an orphanage in Chicago? What is their long-term plan? Since we know she's heavily involved in trafficking of children now, since we know that as a fact, that is her history, why establish an orphanage in Chicago? Well, all right. Somebody answer that for me. What do you think?
Well, so my first assessment would be there's, the Trump sent in the troops there, and there's a lot of crime going on there. So when reptilians want to take over an area or gain more food sources, they cause a lot of disruption and crime and melanated people fighting against melanated people. They stimulate that through the police forces and through lack of resources. And so there's going to be a lot of children, one, melanated children who are the prime source, and two, Hispanic or Mexican children that are going to be orphanages, with all of this deportation. So it's going to be a prime grocery store for food and melanin. Now that's just my limited take on it.
And I agree with you. Now, this is the reason why 3i Atlas says that, hey, we cannot join the galactic circle. We're not ready for it. Now, as far as our people, as we can still ascend, but we have to protect ourselves. Oh, and here we are talking instead of, I don't know how else to get the information out. This is, this platform can go all over the world. And we encourage everybody to send it out because so many people don't even know that this is going on. They up in church waiting for the sky god to come. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And actually, the sky god has come and spoken and said that we ain't ready. Even our own people are not ready. We got a whole lot of Enlil's children or satanic people in our own ranks. Absolutely. Remember I sent you that video about the Boule?
Absolutely.
They're absolutely Satanist. Yep. They were not Satanists. They couldn't do what they're doing to us. For the last, 125 years, I think that women, I know that 1909 was the when the Boule were formed. But it is my opinion, and I've studied it, that the Prince Hall Freemasons are actually behind it all. Okay, I know the history of Noble Drew Ali and how he went in there to find out what they were doing, so forth, and that's why he had to stand up and let people know. And you know that, I know you've seen the picture of George Washington with his Freemason apron on and a Moor in the background with a turban on he's in the background. But is he the one who taught George Washington? You know, they try to pretend that well-dressed Moor with a turban and a feather in his hat standing behind or in the sort of away in the corner from George Washington. But the Prince Hall Freemasons, they were established before any other Masonic lodge here in America. Did you know that?
Understand all the way back to the Knights Templars and where how it all came about. But now Mama Kelly, the issue here, this is one of the things I wanted to talk about to those melanated people that have compromised their soul. The question is, did they do it under duress? Did they do it out of greed, of vanity? What entrapped them? And also, I have a stark warning to all of the melanated people that continue to embrace these organizations to enslave your own species, especially your own melanated culture. You will lose your privilege to these beautiful melanated bodies. And this is a cycle that we have to stop. You're going to, listen, all of you, whether you're in the professional sports, whether you're in the entertainment game, or you're in these divine nines, all of this stuff, you have compromised your soul. Now listen to this. You have compromised your soul, and you're going to lose your privilege in the future lives to a beautiful, well-balanced, symmetric body. And then, so what's going to happen? You incarnate into a lesser phenol code, and now you're mad, you're angry, you're jealous, you're hateful. It's your fault. And this is what we're experiencing with these other cultures now. They hate us because they don't understand they made the choice. And so now here's a statement that I have for all of those people that are in these groups. You can change your ways right now, but at this point, you've lost, at this very point, you have lost your privilege, but you can reverse it because the universe is benevolent as long as you can wake up and say, I was wrong. I need to change my ways. And so if you got whatever resources, whatever, all that crap you gathered for your ego, your pride, your greed, you got to give it up. You're going to have to release it to start the process of repenting, which means to change your ways. And you got to do it not next week, right now. Just start taking inventory to get rid of all that crap. Get rid of it, because the paradigm shift is here, it's happening, and it ain't going nowhere because 3i is here to enforce it. Now, that's my take on all of what they're saying. They're saying, y'all have failed the test. And now it's also a warning to the star seeds. And we got a lot of star seeds in our group. It's a warning to them. Hey guys, you got to do your thing right now, or you're going to be subjected to some losses too. So all star seeds, it is critical right now for us to come together and demonstrate by example. Or as the old church people say, you too can perform these miracles and even greater works. That's where we are right now. That's where we are right now. So get your head out of the fog. Yes, you said, tell them to get their head out of the fog, man. Hey, So,
Yeah,
go ahead, man.
Tell them get their head out the fog, man. It's about the time that train is rolling, man.
All right. So as we getting closer, we got 4 minutes before we close out. You know, we got some powerful people on this staff. This is our organization, and I really wanted to talk about one or two things before we close out. One of the things it says that the leaders are being forced underground. Those are the reptilians. They're going back underground. That's because they, you know, what they do when they do dirt. Let's go build a bomb shelter. Okay, our time is ending. The season has ended. The expiration date, I think we're going a whole month or so beyond the expiration date of this madness. And the verdict has been issued. So as a Starseed activator, when I hear the verdict has been issued, I'm in shutdown mode, you know, and I'm in shutdown mode so much where I'm going to push the envelope. And if you mess with me, and then I definitely become, I mean, this human body, you know, I have limitations, but you mess with me and our people and our organization, oh man, don't think you're just going to throw the toilet out the window and say, shall I be? It's over. All right. So anyway, reparations. Real quick, Yoshan, in the nation of the gathering that we have, and we want to share this back and forth with you and my son. The reparations, we're not going to get any reparations. They, you know, they'll pay off a few people here and a few people there so they can start some chaos. But the only way we're going to get our reparations as a collective unit. Speak on that, and then Andre Jr., you can close that thing up.
Reparations. We got to look inside. We got to look inside. We are the highest spending dollar in the land. What are we spending our reparations on? That's what it sounds like. We already got the reparations. What are we spending it on? You know what I mean? So when we take this, I guess this money, right, and we circulate it in between ourselves, our communities, this is how the money will grow exponentially. We can multiply it at least 100 times within the next a couple of years. You know what I mean? And as Chief Andre Jr. can attest, it doesn't take a lot of money to get the money rolling. You know what I mean? None of the prices that we have here are outrageous. They're actually the cheapest you'll find out of any nation on this land. And I'll be willing to argue against that. Yet, even that little amount of money is able to allow us to build and build and build and build. You know, so I don't want to take up too much time, but I'll go ahead and pass the baton to Chief Andre.
Gotcha. Well said, though. Well said. Reparations, revitalization, restitution, all of the above. You know, what I've noticed with nationalizing our people into a sound organization, essentially what we are. Yes, we are a jurisdiction. Technically, that's what we are. But I tell everybody that comes on, we a tight-knit family first. That's what I tell them. I said, we got a council of elders. We've got people from all generations. And the main thing that we do is we plan and strategize with working together to build into the future. That's the only reparations we're really going to get. So let me preface it for a moment, because I get a lot of questions about, let's say on a mundane level, about whether or not we're going to get federally recognized by the United States government for the sake of reparations. And I'm gonna tell you right now, family, you know, I'm working on getting more on camera. You know what I'm saying? I'm working with Pops and be working with Brother Chief Yassan on this, right? But most of the time I'm behind the scene working. Tell y'all right now, I'm behind the scene working. I made contact with government officials, some response, no response, right? The bottom line is just based on the either lukewarm communication or the lack of communication at all, they don't want to give a shit. You understand me? They don't want to give us anything, regardless of how regardless of how much they know they owe it to us. They understand very well if they had to hand over resources that we believe that we need in order to build everything that we need to build, their time is done tomorrow. You know, if they hand you all a couple $1 million, it's over for them. It's over real fast, real fast. And so, like Chief Yasan was saying, everybody that is coming in this collective is coming with the desire and some level of skill set to contribute to building our infrastructure. But that's what it boils down to. And when I say building our infrastructure, this is what I mean. I tell everybody this very simple goal that we have. All we want to do is build our space on this planet so we can galvanize and convene, and so we can amplify our particular vibration. And we can wake up every day and live completely free, to the point to where you can wake up every day and ask yourself, okay, so what I'm gonna do today? Because I ain't gotta pay no water bill, I ain't gotta pay no light bill, I ain't got no insurance. The house is set. It's like I ain't got neighbors. I got family tribe right over there. They helped me build this whole house. You don't need for much of nothing. And so you got to ask yourself, you ready for that lifestyle to wake up every day and ask yourself what you want to do today? Because instead of what you have to do and whatever obligations you believe you have to these matrix. That's where we're going. Nothing less than that. Nothing less than that. And so, like Chief Yasan said, our reparations are within. You know, I reference this African proverb quite often. Many hands make light work. I know this because I've worked in the construction field for years. Me and 20 guys can build a house in about 3 weeks if we wanted to.
Hey, Chief Andre, if I may ask you a question, I apologize for interrupting. We know that Black Wall Street came a little bit after the Trail of Tears. So with that being said, what reparations did we get after the Trail of Tears to build Black Wall Street?
None.
I rest.
Not a single one.
Thank you.
What you said we did, bro? We literally pulled ourselves up our own bootstraps back in. We made bootstraps. Made the boots too. We made the bootstraps and the boots too and sold them to other people. And my point is, your point is, we know very well how to build, family. That ain't the problem. Like Chairman says all the time, we're gonna have to come together. Got to put your ego to the side, like Pop said. Got to check your ego at the door now. And just hey, listen, I mean, let's to make it light, make it sound good. Come on to the cookout and the barbecue. That's what we doing. That's what's happening. It's like we ain't, do we have, are we radical and are we revolutionaries, which make us military minded? Yeah. But we family. We family. So I'll land that right there.
Well, hey, Mama Kelly, you had one more comment. 60 seconds.
Our reparations, we need land. To be a part of this Babylon, come out of Babylon. We cannot be a part of anything that the so-called corporate government is over. And that is what they are. They are a corporation. The US government, which is now bankrupt, the states, the counties, the cities, the towns are all corporations, and they are all broke. Mm-hmm. And we have to understand that the only thing that we need is land, because we have the creativity, we have the skills, we have the desire, and we must leave Babylon. And Babylon basically is that financial system, which is defunct. I don't think many of us really understand that. We don't get it because they keep on printing, fiat money. It's not even money. it's worth $100 is worth $3 and something cent right now, as we speak, on the international market. But they allow us to trade with it now, so that they keep us in the dark about what's going on with the financial system, Babylon.
So also, Mama Kelly, and that's why I got to make this statement as we wrap up. Hey, we're not celebrating Christmas and Thanksgiving no more. Don't spend no money. We got to send them a message. Give up, stand back, let go of our resources. Now we're gonna get our resources. So, and I got this famous saying on my website: we can do this easy way or the real easy way. We're gonna get our resources. But to our people, stop buying the Christmas crap. Stop lying to your children about a fat caucasoid man with a white beard. Don't do it anymore. We're going to be celebrating Kwanzaa, one of the main holidays we're going to be celebrating in our tribal land, Kwanzaa. It's a Kwanzaa type celebration. And we got one coming up here in Tampa on January the 1st. So any of you folks in the middle central Florida area, we're going to be talking about UAAR. Hopefully we'll have Yasan here too, and Andre Hill Jr. are going to be showing people how to get their nationality. And we're going to have a table at this event. But it's coming up on Thursday, January the 1st, between 3 and 8. And it's going to be at the Tampa Heights Community Center, 2005 North Lamar Avenue. So these are the kind of things we do. Take your money out of Babylon. Invest in your own people. Invest in UAAR. We're building for your children. Go to our page, UAARnation.org. Hey, Chairman, you've been quiet. You got any closing statements?
One thing, your time is ending.
Hey, man, Junior, go ahead and take us out of here, man.
Hey, it's been a wonderful show. Thank everybody who's here. Peace and blessings to you. Straight Talk family, everybody who's watching. We love y'all as always. Peace and love, and we'll see you next week.
Peace out.
Conversation piece.